Launch pad. I told you to land in the center of the mountain range, not in the center of a mountain.
Gee, Mr. McD, I thought that crash was rock solid.
The only rocks around here are the ones inside your head. Ugh, we're nowhere near Shadow Pass and the Lost Crown. Now fix this wreck so we can get airborne. And step on it, lad. I'm paying you by the hour, and I'll nae having you billing me for overtime.
No problem, boss. As long as I have this fuel regulator, we're as good as... Whoopsie-daisy. Oops. My mom always said I was a Butterfingers.
Oh, no. Please tell me you've got another one of those.
Sure I do, but it's back in Duckburg.
Launch pad!
Don't worry, Mr. McD. I'll climb down and get it.
You'll do no such thing. I'll get it. You stay here and try not to cause any more damage.
Okay, you're the boss.
You know, this game really is like a Saturday morning cartoon. How's it going, everybody? Joey64 here with part 5 of Ducktales Remastered. Last time we were in the African mines, and this time we are here in the Appalachians. Well, the Himalayas, not the Appalachians, the Himalayas. Trying to get the lost crown of something that I don't remember, even though Scourge just said it like 2 seconds ago. So, one of the big main mechanics of this level is when you're on the upper layers, basically when you're on top of the actual mountain, the snow, you can't, if you try to do the pogo stick trick on it, you'll end up, you'll go into the snow. That's the big thing with this game, or this level.
What? Here now, don't touch that. I need it to fix my plane. Stop! Oh, it's too late. Those bunny bandits have torn it apart. I've got to find those pieces fast.
So this is actually one of the it is the smallest level in the game actually, which it's basically you have that upper area that we were at where the plane is, that little side area, there's my hot container, the little mini area we were at where you, basically it's just a glorified cutscene room, and then you have this lower cave area which is basically just, like I said, this is a low cave area. Wherever there is not snow, you can pogo bounce on. You just can't pogo bounce on the snow, because then, like we've seen before, Scourge gets stuck in it, and it gives your enemies a good opportunity to actually be able to hit you. Going back to where we start off the video with the cutscenes and all that, the writing in this game is phenomenal. Like I said, I haven't seen the original series as of recording this. Something I plan to do eventually, but I just haven't gotten to it yet. Like, I have Disney Plus, it's not that hard, I just honestly just haven't done it yet. But the writing in this game is just solid. So I'm not sure if it's like the actual cartoon, but like I said, it feels like a Saturday morning cartoon. Like that entire cutscene that we were just watching, the entire time I was watching that, I was smiling. I was just sitting there, like I wasn't like bursting out laughing, but I was just sitting there, I had a smile on my face the entire time. Like, you know, this is really good, you know. Also, those bunnies, they look very familiar. They look like, I don't know what it's from, but I think it's one of the older Disney movies, but there's like a bunny named Thumper, I think. That's what it looks like to me. I don't remember if that's what Thumper looks like. I think, I don't know. I just remember when I first played something, this looks like a Disney, well I guess it's a Disney bunny, but you know, it just looks familiar, you know? As that's the big thing. I feel like I've seen it before, you know? Anyhow, we're talking about the little Thumpers. Or Thumper wannabes, I don't know. They'll be going around back and forth in the snow, they'll jump up, you hit them. Pretty simple. They have the three pieces of the fuel regulator that we need to collect. We've already got 2 of them. See, we just got the second part of the fuel regulator. It's pretty easy to get. This, like I said, this level, I actually kind of like the way they do it. You have this forest area where you're going through these caves and all that. They get the fuel regulator pieces. After that, we have, like, this level split up, kind of like Sonic, where it's like 3 acts for the 4th Sonic game. It's very similar to that, where it's not one big level like the rest of the levels. This is split up to multiple smaller chunks, which I actually kind of like. I think it's a cool shake-up.
That's me kilts. It's Bubba Duck. Looks like that poor little pea brain got caught in a deep freeze.
Whoa, what happened? Scourge? Ooga ooga! Scourge save Bubba!
There, little fella. Uncle Scrooge is here to help.
Scourge save Bubba! Scourge save Bubba! Scourge save Bubba! Bubba help Scourge! Bubba help Scourge forever!
You know, I could use a bit of help smashing away this giant icebox. What do you say, Bubba?
Ooga ooga!
In that case, follow me, lad.
So this introduces a, not mechanic, but just something that's new to this game. Throughout some of the levels, I mean a total of 2, you'll get these little side characters. These little helper kiddos that help you do stuff. You guys see here we got Bubba Duck. You actually gotta be a little faster than him, because if not, you're not able to get like that chest up there, which does have a ruby in it. So sadly, we can't get that because Bubba destroyed the block before we get bounced off of it. Bubba will also kill any enemies that we find along the way, which we've always seen, and he one-shots everything with no issue at all. So it's pretty useful. Later on, we'll get a bit more of these helpers, so this little assistants. There's not like a name for these or anything. I'm just making up the name helpers just because I can't, for lack of, not lack of a better term, but lack of just no term. Also bothers me that he doesn't destroy that upper block. It really does.
This is the end of the line, Bubba. It's time for you to head to the surface.
Bubba home with Scourge?
Aye, Launchpad is waiting to take you home to Duckburg. On your way now.
So what I don't get about this part is why don't we just have Bubba come with us all the way to the plane? Because we're already having to go back to the plane. And it's like, he's going the same way we'll go. Like, we say, okay, we're going to go this way. And he does as well, so why doesn't he just stay with us? You know? I don't know. I don't know, it's another thing I find kind of weird. I would say this probably, out of all the levels, this is probably not the hardest. I would say this is probably the one I died the most in. I don't feel like, overall, I don't think it's the hardest, but I do remember on my initial playthrough, it's the one I died the most in. But it's not too bad, especially since, like I said, I have the map on the gamepad screen. It'll have a little, I don't remember what the symbol looked like, but it's like a little star or something saying, oh, there's a fuel regulator piece here. And that's how I know where they're all at, without having to actually go through and properly, you know, going through and trying to kill everybody. You only have to kill the 3 that have the thing. Something I didn't realize during my first playthrough. I would say the hardest level is probably the last level, the moon. The moon's probably is a pretty difficult level. As a title game in general is fairly challenging. I wouldn't say anything that's going to be like Cuphead levels of hard or like Contra levels of hard. It's not going to be that crazy impossible unless you play on like the hard difficulty, which lets you take a lot less hits. Because I know in the normal difficulty, it's every time you get a hit, you lose half a heart. And then in the hard difficulty, you lose a full heart every time you get hit. So it's something to be conscious of. Just while you're playing through it. There's a secret area over there. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think I actually do go back over there. At least the goat enemies are also here. They just kind of bounce around. They have no big thing. And the Beagle Boys are here. Once again, they don't do too much. They don't do anything crazy or anything. They're just here again. The Beagle Boys are basically just the weird corn mooks that I've kind of just seen throughout the entire series of Ducktales. You don't see them as much in the reboot. They are definitely in the reboot, but you just don't see them as much. But like Big Time and all, Big Time, I can't remember the names of the other Beagle Boys, but I remember like Big Time, which was the boss we did back at I keep wanting to say Duckburg Manor, Mcduck Manor, not Mcduck Manor, the Money Bin, when we had to get back the Money Bin, when we had to go against Big Time. That was him. And they were back in, I know they're in the reboot, but it's not like a big army like in the old show.
Here you go, Launchpad. Good as new. Now get this bucket of bolts back in the sky.
Just a tick, Mr. McD. This oughta do it. Now there's your problem.
Webigail, what in the world are you doing here?
I wanted to see the pretty crown, Uncle Scrooge.
Oh, great. Now I've got to babysit you and Launchpad.
But I can help, Uncle Scrooge. You're not like the boys, are you? You don't think I'm just a worthless tag-along, do you?
We're ready for liftoff, Mr. McD.
And not a moment too soon. Strap in tight, Webby dear.
Off we go! Nothing but blue skies ahead. Clear as a bell. Not a cloud in sight.
Launchpad, knock off that infernal chatter.
Gee whiz, I was only trying to lighten the mood.
If anything, we need to lighten the plane. Feels like she's lost maneuverability with all the, unexpected cargo we seem to have picked up.
No worries, Mr. McD. I've got the coordinates for Shadow Pass locked in. We'll be there lickety-split.
More like lickety-splat.
Glomgold!
Nice to see you, McDuck, especially since you've led me right to the treasure. To whom do I owe my thanks? Your idiotic pilot? Or did you play it safe and let those two wee ones fly the plane?
You dirty cheat! Only you could sink so low!
And at 15,000 feet, no less.
Complain all you like. The lost crown of Genghis Khan will look right at home on my feathered noggin. Wouldn't you say, Scroogey?
That's what you think. You'll never beat us to Shadow Pass.
So, the crown is in Shadow Pass, eh? Thanks for telling me.
Launchpad!
Alrighty, so we got a bit of a mini boss here. This isn't the boss of the level, but basically we'll have Glomgold here who's shooting out Beagle Boys and bombs. You have to defeat the Beagle Boys, and you see a little drop shot when they come by, and then you have to whack the bombs. And if you take too long, you'll damage the plane. So you see now, like, because obviously the plane's 3D, you kind of see what parts of the plane will start kind of to move around a lot. You see like the tail in the back now, the little fin tails are starting to bend around a lot. I had a harder time doing this boss fight while doing this playthrough than in my initial playthrough. I just got really unlucky for the bombs and the Beagle Boys were landing that for us. But I don't know how many hits you could take, to be honest. I'm assuming it's probably going to be around 3 or 4, I would think, but I only ever take 2, I believe. But you do see visible damage on the plane, on Launchpad's plane, throughout the adventure and all that. You know, it's kind of, for the most part, we're using a helicopter. We typically see a helicopter when we're going around and all that, like to the new places, like doing like the loading screens and all that. But here we have a plane, but I don't think we see the plane when we're doing the in-between scene.
You haven't seen the last of me, McDuck!
Take that, you big old meanie! We sure showed him that cheaters never cheat and winners never win, didn't we?
Try it the other way around and I couldn't agree more, Webby. Pickle me, pin feathers, there it is! Shadow Pass directly ahead. Take us down, Launchpad. Slow and steady this time.
No problemo, Mr. McD.
We're close to that treasure now. I can almost smell it.
Wasn't me.
Then what was it?
That definitely wasn't me.
Whatever it is, it won't last long if it tries to get between me and the lost crown.
Uncle Scrooge, don't go!
Dinna worry, lassie. Whatever is in that cave is no match for your Uncle Scrooge. I earn my fortune by being smarter than the smarties and tougher than the toughies. If anything's in there, it had better step aside.
But I'm scared.
Stay with Launchpad. He'll take good care of you.
Stay with Launchpad? Gee, now I'm extra scared.
Alright, so now we got the final little part of this level. This is kind of like the third act. And man, now I'm dead. But the reason why this kind of I was brought up to Sonic comparison was because we had the first part of the level, which is like kind of like the main part. The second act, which you know is basically the same thing, kind of similar to what we were doing before, but a little mixed up. And now we have Act 3, which is where the boss is, which has a bit of level right before, but it mainly just brings us straight into a pit. And mainly brings us straight just to the boss. Unless I keep dying, then we're just never going to get to the boss. Hopefully one day. One of these dang on goats. The goats and the bats in this game are two least favorite enemies. And I went down that pit hoping, oh, I could be safe and all that. Then the goats is like, no, I want to come down there. And that wasn't very fun. Gotta say that. You notice those jumps there. Those are a little tricky. Oh, so okay. Stop talking because I thought there would be some dialogue. Okay, so this is the Yeti. He's the boss for this area. He'll go around, jump around a bit. You just gotta go below him on the other side. Eventually, he'll smash up the wall. You shoot a rock at him. A big old boulder will come, or the big ice block will hit him, and then you're as good as new. Well, you just kind of chill basically. And what you're supposed to do is you're not supposed to actually go behind him. You're supposed to try to slip underneath him every time he jumps around. But me, because the way I decided to do it, I was able to just kind of stay behind him, and that's what I continue to do for most of the boss fight. It's kind of hard to tell the perspective and all that, where the boulder's going to hit which ice block. That's why you have to time it with where the dude is. So right here, you just you kind of tell if it's closer to the the Yeti. If it's closer to, if it's like below that middle block, it's most likely going to hit the ones on the edge. And if it's closer to the walls, it's probably going to be the middle one. That specifies they give you. It's even saying that's still kind of hard to judge it. You just kind of gotta give and take and do whatever you can. But for the most part, it's not too hard. I've taken a great deal of damage though. Yeah, you gotta be careful. When he does it, he'll do kind of like a ground pound. Basically, he's up in the air longer than normal. You just gotta jump with him so you don't get hit. And that's basically everything for this boss. It's not too complicated. I say that as I'm now on one heart, but it's not, like I said, it's not too complicated. Dodge the ice blocks, hit the rocks, he'll jump underneath it, bop him one more time on the head. Nope, not one more time. He was almost dead. You try to time stuff, but you don't time it just right. Oh, ooh. Yeah, it's honestly just, it's the same pattern of back and forth. And this isn't from the show either, unlike a lot of the other bosses, so it's nothing too special.
Webby!
Be nice, Uncle Scrooge. That poor fuzzy lady didn't mean any harm. Did you, ma'am?
Ma'am? Don't be daft, lass. This monster tried to pummel me. Why, I nearly cashed my last check.
Oh, I know, ma'am. But Uncle Scrooge is really nice once you get to know him.
Webby, you understand this creature?
Of course, Uncle Scrooge. It's all in the Junior Woodchuck Guidebook.
What's she saying now?
She says she's sorry if she hurt you. She's just upset because she stepped on a thorn and can't get it out.
A thorn? You don't suppose... Here's your thorn, Abigail. The lost crown of Genghis Khan.
The pretty crown! You found it!
Aye, the poor creature was standing on it. Webby, I cannot thank you enough. I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me. Without your help, we never would have found the treasure. Oh, and thanks to you too, ma'am.
I think she likes you, Uncle Scrooge.
Well, that's odd. Usually it's me the ladies go gaga for.
Aye, well, let's get home before she grows any fonder of me.
It's really they say the snow monster Yeti lady is like happy now, but she still has like a sad, little pouty face on it. It's a little weird, to say the least. And now we got to the last round of games.
The lost crown of Genghis Khan is mine, lads. All it took was a bit of tenacity and perseverance.
And a little kindness and patience. Right, Uncle Scrooge?
Right you are, Webby darling. Now, where's Bubba run off to?
Yeah, where is he? He was here a minute ago.
Why don't you answer Baba?
He's over there having a tea party with Webby's toys.
No. Baba smash!
Uh-oh, Webby. Sounds like Bubba's not getting along so good with your Quacky Patch dolls. You keep away from my dolls, mister!
Remember, kindness and patience, Webbigail. Set a good example for the lad. Well then, what treasure shall we look for next?
Alrighty, so another treasure down. Awesome, perfect. Time to, of course, take another dive into the money vault. Just because, you know, gotta get that dive. Look at that, 4 out of the 5 treasures have been completed. There's just one more left right there in the middle. Well, not in the middle, I guess kind of in between the scepter and the crown. So yeah, next time I believe we are going to the moon. Yeah, the moon, yeah. So awesome, we should be able to get the last treasure, which I believe is a piece of cheese. So yeah, thank y'all so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed. I'll see y'all in the last part of Ducktales Remastered next Friday. Have a great week. Bye.
It's a long way to the moon, lads. But the green cheese of longevity will make it worth the trip. Up, up, and away!